Welcome back to Facts Not Feelings. We are no longer being attacked by the backdrop. We did have that. If you missed the last one, go back and watch it just for pure comedic value because it was pretty awesome being attacked by this thing. We've got it weighted down, so we're good to go there. We have Jimmy Douglas, who is a freaking rock star with us today. So excited to talk to him. Jimmy, you've had a few things going on. You had the whole Tesla thing, and not just like anyone that like pretty much anything cool you saw with Tesla. This guy did it. Like, this is a rock star right here. And now you're the CEO of Spark. So let's start off with that. Tell the audience that they may not know what Spark is. Plug, Spark, plug. And we've got things going over. Spark Plug is also a very good drink, but plug. tell the audience a little bit about Plug, not Spark.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Brooke, for that maybe overly generous introduction. Yeah, so Plug is a auction. It's a wholesale auction that's purely online and only for battery electric vehicles.
There you go. Short and sweet. Like that is, so many times I ask that and they go on for like hours and whatever. Like, you're just like, no, this is what it is. We're good. Very short and sweet, get to the point, concise, save people time. And we were talking offline. This is your first NADA.
That's right.
How's that going for you?
It's really fun. It's so fun because I just started this company about 10 months ago. And prior to that, I didn't really have an opportunity to actively participate in this ecosystem. I was a little busy. And I've probably met, 250 new friends in the last 6 months or something like that. And man, everybody's here.
Yes. Those that didn't make it, they're like, I'm having FOMO. I was like, you should have FOMO because everybody is here right now.
Almost everybody. There's a couple of people that I really wish were here that were not. But to me, NADA so far is like the ultimate like serendipity factory. Most of the meetings and like really impactful conversations and interactions I've had were not scripted or scheduled. It just happens.
Yep. I agree. So being it's your first one, why did you choose this year to be the first one? Other than I get you're a Tesla, I get that's a little different, but why not next year? Why this year?
Yeah, it's a good question. When you're building a really early stage startup and you're either pre-revenue or very early revenue, every dollar needs to be stretched to the absolute maximum extent possible.
I know that feeling.
Yeah, I know you do. And I don't know. I'm sure you're also aware that like Vegas is like maybe not the least expensive place to hang out for a few days. So there definitely needs to be ROI. But it's extremely clear that there is. Being that we're building a brand new auction from the ground up, we're doing two things at once, which is building out the supply and the demand side bases. And there are lots of people who I've already been working with in some capacity about trying to get on board. So just being able to have those closing conversations and bring them to the fold here in person is really important. As we all know, this is a very relationship-driven business. But there's also the surprise factor. And you never know who you'll meet that you maybe probably had either didn't know exist or didn't think that you would ever get a one-on-one conversation with them. And that's been really great too. So I suppose the reason I chose to do it is I had belief that that would be the case here because so many of my peers in this industry have spoken so highly of this platform and this event for those exact reasons. And they were right.
There you go. Not a better endorsement than that. Usually I'll say this question at the very end, but because it is your first one, audience out there, first time looking to go to NADA, what is your suggestion for them being that you're going through it right now?
Yeah, I think the most helpful thing I did was keep actually a fairly light calendar coming into it. It's really tempting to just pack everything end to end and it's very easy to do. But things happen really organically here if you give yourself the space to do it.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. And it's so true. And even like we got a packed schedule. Now I'm trying to get from the north hey, I'm on the north hall, but I'm going to go to the west. Like that's going to take a hot minute. It's going to take a while. So even buffering time for that to get where you need to get. So yes, I will say going back to Tesla, have you taken the Vegas loop with the Teslas?
No, I still haven't. I need to do that before I leave.
I was going to say that's good. I'm kind of shocked you didn't invent that as well. Maybe you did.
Definitely not. But it's something I've been meaning to check out. Absolutely.
It's really cool. And it's $5 for the entire day. I was like, man, I thought I had to buy another pass. She's like, no, you're good. I'm like, this is phenomenal. This is so great.
That's just another like total cost of ownership, like equation, like hard at work right there. It doesn't cost a lot of money to operate those things down there, I'm sure.
It is kind of crazy. And I'm like, there's got to be multiple accidents. Not that you've got oncoming, it's only one way. I mean, the claustrophobia, if you have claustrophobia, probably don't do it. But then like if you sneeze, you run into the wall. I don't know how you get the car out though.
Yeah, I've never recommended a tunnel to a claustrophobic person in general, whether you're in a car or not.
No, don't get buried alive. None of those things. Don't do that. Okay, back to NADA. So you're going through. You're seeing a lot of people. What has been maybe something that you didn't expect that you got out of this?
Yeah, a lot. And honestly, I'm still sort of processing the whole thing. I would say maybe the unexpected phenomenon is running into some people that I didn't know that would be here that I haven't seen in many years. And honestly, having some like overdue conversations that I've been wanting to have with people that I never thought would maybe happen ever, let alone here.
Right?
Yeah, it's an ecosystem that goes much beyond the dealers and service providers and OEMs. Like there are so many participants in this ecosystem that like you wouldn't necessarily intuitively think about unless you're totally in it. So you'd be surprised like who you'll run into. And the fact is everybody is here to meet and interact with people and like have conversations with people that they already know as well. So yeah, I'm surprised by the connections that I've been able to make here from like many years past.
You're like, I haven't talked to you in a while. This is great. Do you have any things that you're taking back with you to whether it's be for not Spark, but Plug?
Yeah.
Anything that going on that way or just in general with the industry?
Yeah, immediate like action items for me coming out of this is I had a couple of really impactful conversations with people who will be partners to Plug, primarily as a basis of supply. So continuing to meet with more mainly fleet owners that have meaningful battery electric vehicle presence within their portfolio, and they're entering a cycling out cadence. Oh, nice. And working with them to establish those data connections that enable us to provide differentiated data to the buyers. So there's some really great conversations that are resulting in straight commercial engagements as a result of just being here.
That is, I'm like processing everything you just said there. I was like, I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this. I thought there was a lot that just came out. That is true though, all of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's awesome, Jimmy. It has been as always. This is actually the first time we've met in person.
Isn't that wild?
Like we've had so many like video chats, and this is another thing about what's great about whether it's NADA or the conference. You can actually see people, and they're real. They are real somehow.
Proof.
I'm like pinching myself. Like, yeah, no, he's real. So you get to see people, and I'm just thank you for being on the show. Thank you for everything you're doing and just your knowledge. It's been such a pleasure getting to know you and having you on the show.
I learn something every time I talk to you, Brooke, and it's an absolute pleasure to actually confirm that you're a real person too.
I kind of, maybe, I don't know, a little bit here. So yes, but everyone, thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for you being a part of the show. And once again, we have some awesome guests coming up that I don't know who it is, but they'll show up and we'll get this thing rocking and rolling and not be attacked by the backdrop. So things are good. Things are good. All right, everyone. Until next episode, we will see you shortly.